starring Guy Madison as Wild Bill Hickock.
Hey! Wild Bill, wait for me!
And Andy Devine as his pal Jingle.
You wouldn't be Jimmy Peters, would you, boy?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I reckon you don't remember me. I'm Ed Hartman.
Ed Hartman? Gee, Pa's been talking about you almost every day for 3 years.
Yeah? What did he tell you?
About how when you came back, you'd help him clear his name of the bank robbery. And everything would be just like it used to be.
What bank robbery?
Oh, I forgot. You didn't even know about it. It happened the same night you left town. Everybody thought you and Pa were the ones that did it.
What gave him that idea?
You were seen together that afternoon. Everybody knows how you and Pa used to be partners.
I hear you hollering about lunch, son. What are you doing here?
Dad, what's got into you? This is Ed Hartman, the fellow you told me could fix everything.
I know who he is. And I know what he is.
Huh?
Hold on a minute, Whitey. I don't know what's eating you. But whatever it is, I'm sure can be straightened out with a little talk. Go tend to dinner, son. Set an extra plate. It looks like we got company.
Sure, Pa. Anything you say.
Now, look here, Whitey. I don't know what's gotten into you, but the kid's been telling me you've been waiting for 3 years for me to come back. And then you go for your gun.
Well, what'd you expect? I've been thinking all along you were suspected of doing something you didn't do. Same as me.
If you're talking about that bank robbery, how do you know I had anything to do with it?
This. I saw the sheriff tacking it up this morning.
I don't see where this should make a difference between two old friends.
You mean former friends. Why don't you leave me and the boy alone? You've caused us enough trouble as it is.
So supposing I did knock over that bank, why should it cause you any grief? You didn't have anything to do with it.
Everybody around here seems to think so. If they'd been able to prove their suspicions, I'd be in jail right now.
Marshal Hickock and his deputy are on my trail. I've been trying to give them a slip for 2 weeks.
Well, why tell me about it? I'm not going to hide you out.
I didn't think you would. What I need is some cash.
Take a look at this shack. The clothes on the boy. Do you think we'd live this way if we had any money?
Well, you know where we can get some. The same as I do.
How? By robbing the bank and then leaving me to hold the bag?
Who said anything about you holding a bag? It'll be an even 50-50 split. You're always yelling about wanting to do something better for the boy.
You call teaching him to forget about the law better?
Why not? If what you say is true, they're treating him as though you were an outlaw anyway.
Well, that's not the same as my being one. Once Hickock catches up to you, there's a good chance I'll be able to clear myself.
I'm in the spot, Whitey, so I'll give it to you straight in the shoulder. Either you help me get away from Hickock, or I'll tell him that we pull that bank job together. Just think what it'll mean to the boy.
The horses will be ready for you in a couple of hours, Marshal.
Thanks, Judd.
You know, Bill, I've been thinking maybe with all these posters around, Hartman will be afraid to show his face in town.
He wouldn't let that stop him. It'd be too easy for him to shave.
Well, nobody would know him with his beard off, including us. How are we to know what he looks like?
Guess we'll have to wait for him to start shooting our way.
Yeah, wait for him to stop shooting.
Gee, Mr. Hartman, I wish I was going with you. I'd sure like to see Sheriff Lober's face when you and Pa walk in and square yourself.
I guess you've been waiting a long time for this, eh, Jimmy?
You bet I have. I wanted Pa to go looking for you, but he always said it would look like we were running away.
Your pa was always one for seeing a thing through. And after today, you won't have a thing to worry about.
Sure will be swell not to have the sheriff looking at us like we're a couple of sneak thieves every time he sees us.
I wouldn't let that bother you. Some of the lawmen I've run across are worse than owl hoots themselves. Take that Wild Bill Hickock, for instance.
What about him?
To hear folks talk, you'd think that giving a man a chance was his motto.
You mean he isn't really like that?
Of course he ain't. Why, a fellow would be rich if he had $1 for every man he shot in the back.
You ready, Ed?
Yeah. Just like old times, eh, Whitey?
Yeah, almost. Take care of yourself, son. What's the matter?
That's Hickock and his deputy. They've got the bank staked out.
I thought you said you got the deputy.
I must have just winged him. I won't miss this time.
What about the bank?
Knocking off Hickock is better than money.
Hold it, Ed. I just wanted to see how rotten you really are. Drop that gun. Raise your hands in the air and turn around slow.
What kind of a gag is this?
It's no gag. I'm taking you into the sheriff. Now start moving.
All right, Whitey. That's the way you want it.
I think we're wasting our time, Bill. That fellow Hartman's too smart to try anything in this town.
Maybe you're right, Sheriff, but there's no sense in taking any chances.
You made me miss.
Fine time to be on foot.
Sheriff won't have too much trouble catching him. Let's see about this one.
You killed him. You killed my pa.
I'm afraid you're a little mixed up, son.
This is Marshal Hickock. It was the other fellow that did the shooting.
That's a lie. I can see what happened. You didn't even give him a chance to square himself. You shot him right in the back, just like Ed said you would.
Ed. Bill, do you think that sidewinder that hightailed it out of here was Ed Hartman?
You bet he was. And if he's a sidewinder, that's just what I want to be. At least he wouldn't shoot a man in the back.
I hope you find out how wrong you are, son. Come on, Jingles. We'll find somebody to take care of this boy and then hustle Judd with the horses.
What happened, Sheriff? He doubled back and dry ghosted us just outside of town.
You mean Hartman got away?
Hartman. Is that who he was?
Boy said he and his father were coming in to square themselves.
That's a laugh.
Take it easy, Sheriff. It's tough enough on the boy as it is.
How do you think it is for Hank and Joe being shot by his old man's partner? The kid's no better than an outlaw himself.
Maybe, but if he isn't treating him like this, we'll sure make him one. Judd says the boy has a lot of good in him.
Come on, son. Maybe we'd better go back to shop.
No, I'm not going anywhere. First they murdered my pa, now they're calling me an outlaw.
Ain't no use arguing, Bill. Every minute we waste, Hartman gets farther away.
Now, wait a second, Jingles. Maybe we got a bigger problem right here than picking up Hartman's trail.
Now, what's more important than catching an outlaw we've been trailing all the way from Abilene?
He's not an outlaw. If you'd only listened to him, he could have proved that he and my pa never went near that bank.
You see what I mean, Jingles? we don't set this boy straight, he's liable to turn against every lawman in the territory.
I've already turned against your kind.
Now, you're the one that's not giving me a chance. According to what Judd says, your father was accused of something he didn't do, just like you're accusing me. Now, why don't you give me a chance to prove it?
Oh, Bill, but we ain't got time to do that and catch Hartman, too.
The way I see it, if we can show Jimmy what kind of a man Hartman really is, he might change his mind.
You mean we're going to take him with us?
How about it, Jimmy?
Why should I? I hope you never catch him.
No, your father wouldn't have talked that way, Jim. The marshals are making sense. And I think your dad would have wanted you to listen to him.
Will you come with us, son?
But not because of you. I'll do it for Pa.
Looks like he went right into that cabin. Not the horse Hartman was riding?
Yeah, we better go the rest of the way on foot. Jimmy, you stay here and hold the horses. Ooh, Chuck.
Look out, Ed, it's the marshal.
Is he hit bad?
He's not. Just beaten up pretty badly. You better go get Jimmy and bring down the horses. How do you feel?
I'll be all right.
Who did this to you?
Never saw him before. He rode in looking for some ammunition. Fresh mount.
Is that his horse over there?
Sure is. He took mine. But he didn't get no ammunition. I didn't have any. That's why he started knocking me around. While I was holding out on him.
How many rounds would you say he had left?
Oh, no. His belt was empty. He was only toting one gun. Reckon it was full.
And as far as we can figure, he's only got 6 shells left.
Of course, there's no way we can be sure.
Well, thanks. We'll have to take that chance. Think you'll be able to manage?
There's nothing wrong with me that catching that outlaw won't kill her.
Good. We'll stop off on our way back. Move on, John.
Honest, Bill, no matter what that fellow Hartman does, Jimmy here just thinks it's fine.
I don't care what you say. Ed isn't the kind to hit a man unless he had a good reason.
Don't worry about it, Jingles. He'll change his mind when we catch up with his friend.
You mean if, don't you? The way things have been going here lately, I don't think we'll ever catch him.
I don't know about that. From the looks of that over there, I'd say his luck is just about run out.
Great jumping horny toads, I'll say it has. He's ridden right into Fool's Canyon.
Fool's Canyon?
That's right. That's the prettiest little box canyon in the territory. Ain't no way out except the way he went in. This is what I've been waiting for weeks.
Now,
Come
hold on, Jingles. We can't go in there now.
And why not?
It's almost sundown.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard of. You never did let it stop us before.
Sorry, Jingles, but if there's any shooting, we'd be taking too big a chance. The boy might get hurt in the dark. Make camp over there and keep watching the pass till morning. Come on.
Bill!
What?
Bill, wake up! It's Jimmy. He's gone.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Honest, Bill, I just turned my back on him for a second. He disappeared.
His horse is still here. He couldn't have gone far. I bet he went through the pass to join Hartman. Come on, Jingles.
On foot, what about the horses?
Hartman's going to be using us for target practice. I'd rather be where I could duck.
Oh, I need to leave the horses here, not Pete.
Jimmy, what are you doing here?
Don't get sore, Ed. I came to help you. The marshal's just outside the pass.
I knew that last night. That still doesn't explain why you're here.
It was the marshal. He made me come along. He had some crazy idea he could prove he didn't kill my pa.
Marshal killed your pa?
He sure did. Didn't you see it happen?
Yeah, but I wasn't sure whether it was him or his deputy. Where is he now?
They didn't even know I sneaked out of camp. I had to come, Ed. I figured between the two of us we could fight our way out of here.
You got lots of nerve, Jimmy. But I'm afraid it's not enough. All I've got left is 6 rounds of ammunition.
No.
You know, we might be able to get out of this rat trap after all. Hey, Jimmy, how would you like it if you and I were full-time partners?
That's his horse. I wonder where Hartman.
Hold it, Jingles. You might hit the boy.
That's right, Bill, but what about Hartman? We can't let him get away when we've got him cornered like this.
The way I see it, keeping that boy from turning outlaw is a lot more important.
Oh, Bill Hickock, when it comes to kids, you're the most stubborn man I ever did see in my whole life. We'll be here all day if we don't smoke him out.
Won't take that long. From what Creswell told me yesterday, Hartman hasn't got over 6 rounds of ammunition. He's already used 2 of those.
You mean 3, and he's wasting them mighty close.
That means he only has 3 left. I'm gonna make him fire those at me.
How do we know he didn't get Criswell to thinking we was low on ammunition just so we'd fall for a stunt like this?
We don't. But as long as he's got that boy, we haven't got any choice. We'll do just like he wants us to.
How about it, Hickock? Do you throw down your guns, or do I come and get you?
All right, Hartman. You win.
Stand up.
Do you think they believe you?
Sure they do. You stick with me, and I'll show you how to make a sucker out of every lawman you meet. All right, just keep 'em up good and high. Looks like our little trick worked okay, huh, Jimmy?
I gotta hand it to you, Ed. I didn't think they'd fall for it.
I don't call hiding behind a youngster much of a trick.
That's because you didn't know his gun was empty.
You working for him?
Not for him, we're partners.
I wouldn't be so happy about that. After what happened to his last business associate, I'd be afraid of getting a bullet in the back.
I had enough of your talk. Turn around.
I thought you reserved this treatment just for your partners. Or is that just for the ones that might shoot back?
Any partner I ever had is still alive, and you know it.
What about Whitey Peters?
That's different. He had it coming to him.
You mean you killed my pa?
You think you're smart, don't you, Hickock? What if I did? You're not going to do anything about it. Get over there with your friends.
Gosh, Marshal Hickock, I didn't know. I thought...
That's all right, Jimmy. Maybe it's better it turned out this way after all. At least now you know how rotten a man can get once he turns outlaw.
Now turn around.
Hit him, Wild Bill, hit him. Make him sorry you ever laid eyes on my pa. What I don't understand is how you knew what to do.
No, there wasn't nothing to it. Bill knew he'd try a stunt like that, so we just emptied our guns before we threw him down.
Gosh, Jingles, What would have happened if Hartman wasn't out of ammunition like you thought?
That doesn't matter now, Jimmy. You've got a job to do.
What's that, Marshal?
Here's your prisoner. Take him in.
Hey, you know, Bill, come to think of it, well, what would have happened if Hartman hadn't have been out of ammunition?
Now, that's a good question, Jingles.
Well, thank you.
But if that had been the case, I don't think we'd be around to worry about the answer.
No, we wouldn't have been around to work. Huh?